Today I'm going to do a quick tutorial of a painting using only primary colors. Here we are using reds and yellows only to create a warm tone in the background. You don't need to make this perfect because you're going to blend it all out anyways, so kind of have fun with it and just get those colors a little bit lighter in the middle, a little darker in the edges. At this point we'll be using a flat brush and some very lighter oranges to throw in some distant trees. These shapes do not have to be perfect because you're not really going to see a ton of them once it's done. We're also going to add in some leaves scattered here and there, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Once the background's dry, I'm just going to throw in a few beams of light. Don't forget to let each layer dry before moving on to the next layer. At this point, we're going to start working on those trees that are closer to us. I'm switching my palette to dark oranges as well as reds to create that sense of depth. For a lot of these branches, I am still using a flat, but you'll notice I do switch to a liner brush eventually for those thinner, more detailed branches. When it comes to leaves, I actually like a stiff bristle brush that's kind of worn out and creates a lot of real good texture with it. And now just adding in a few more beams of light. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of depth to my painting, some shadows, some lights, bit of the forest floor, just again to add that three-dimensional quality, and even throw in a dead log. Now as I move on to the foreground, I'm actually going to completely change my palette. I'm only using blues and yellows to create a cool tone in my foreground. I would do this because it's going to really contrast against my background and will really make it stand out. So for my focal, I decided to go with mushrooms. I just think they're cute, nostalgic, and they're actually quite a simple form to make. You can do all sorts of different shapes for their dome on top, but really they're not that complicated. I decided to put a lot of texture, add some depth to make it look a little, again, 3D, and just had fun with it. Like, you could really use anything here, but I think mushrooms are super cute. The nice thing about acrylics is that they do dry so fast. So you can kind of add layer after layer, each time add a bit more depth, contour, details, texture, and it's really important that you do that because that's what really brings your painting to life, is those going back over it, little details here, little details there, add a little more dark, a little more light, and that's what really adds to it. So we're almost done. I'm just going to finish up with a few final little details in the background to kind of just have fun with it. All right, so that pretty much wraps it up. We're done. I hope you had fun watching and enjoy making your own amazing creation. Goodbye.